Germany qualified for the 2018 World Cup, but that was hardly in doubt. All eyes were on the show, and put on a show did Sebastian Rudy, wasting no time entertaining the crowd in Belfast. More full wrap of Thursday's UEFA World Cup qualifying with the ball dribbling free well outside the box. The Bayern Munich midfielder pounced to put all his weight behind an utter rip, blasting a howitzer into the top right corner with stunning precision accuracy. It took 22 appearances, but Rudy picked up his first international goal in stunning fashion. The strike got things going for Germany, who were dominant in the match as they held 73% possession, and led 30 before a stoppage-time consolation goal for the hosts. Sandro Wagner scored a curler in the 26th minute to double Germany's lead, with a shot splitting a pair of defenders on its way, and 22-year-old Josh Kimmich scored a volley from a ridiculously tight angle with time winding down, a strike that deserved applause of its own. All told, Germany bossed the match and looked more and more like the best team in the world. Follow at _bonfire. Costa Rica will have to wait an extra day to attempt to earn its place in next summer's World Cup. Tropical Storm Nate has caused Friday's CONCACAF World Cup qualifier between Los Ticos and Honduras to be moved back to Saturday as the dangerous weather passes through Central America. More previewing the USMNT's WCQ match against Panama. Costa Rica Soccer Federation Chief Rodolfo Villalobos announced the decision to alter the match timing on Thursday night as a precautionary measure. The qualifying fixture will take place at 6 p.m. ET on Saturday at the Estadio Nacional de Costa Rica. Los Ticos need just 1 point out of their final 2 WCQ matches to join Mexico in Russia next summer as representatives from CONCACAF. Costa Rica currently sits second on points in the qualifying process, while Honduras is in 5th place. Follow at Madrid Football London app. The chief executive of the English Football Association says there is brittleness in the team when it travels overseas for games. Martin Glenn spoke to sports industry executives at the Leaders' Conference in London on Thursday, hours before England hoped to qualify for the World Cup by beating Slovenia. More Thursday UEFA World Cup qualifying wrap. Glenn is already concerned about how the team gains the physiological edge missing so often in England teams. Since winning the 1966 World Cup on home soil, England has only won 6 knockout games at major tournaments. England was eliminated from the 2016 European Championship in the last 16 by Iceland. Glenn says England players do not travel well. We know there is a brittleness in unfamiliar circumstances that we have to deal with. Follow at the _bonfire. CONMEBOL qualifying is, as the kids say, lit. Thursday's results mean that all will be decided on Tuesday, with still only Brazil having secured qualification already. Chile jumped into a qualifying spot, barely, while another disappointing performance by Argentina leaves Jorge Sampaoli and company on the outside looking up to qualification with 1 match to go. Yes, you read that correctly. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Argentina could very realistically miss the World Cup. Have a look at the results, plus a look at Tuesday. Argentina 0-0 Peru. Lionel Messi and nobody else. The Barcelona star was brilliant again for his country, but had no help as Argentina was stymied at home yet again, leaving them in an elimination spot with just 1 match to play. Messi himself hit the post, but he was still his stunning self for much of the game. Unfortunately, Angel Di Maria was horrid and yanked at half-time. Dario Benedetto and Lucas Biglia spurned a number of chances, and Sampaoli decided against even bringing Paulo Dybala off the bench to help the attack. The result means Argentina, already in the playoff position coming into tonight, was leapfrogged by Chile and currently sit outside a qualifying position of any kind. They have not scored a World Cup qualifying goal from open play in 5 whole matches, the last of which came almost a full year ago in last November. Chile 21 Ecuador. It appeared Ecuador had equalized late, which would have been disastrous for Chile, but Alexis Sanchez saved the day with an 86th-minute goal as Chile jumped into a qualifying spot thanks to the 3 points. Arturo Vidal pickpocketed an Ecuador defender after a slip, and he fed Felipe Gutierrez in great shooting position. With space, Gutierrez ripped a shot that was saved by Maximo Banguera, but he parried it right in the path of Sanchez, who scored easily into the open net. Romario Ibarra had equalized just 2 minutes earlier, cancelling out Eduardo Vargas' opener just 22 minutes in. A draw would have been a tough pill to swallow, leaving Chile below the qualifying line despite the failures elsewhere. Instead, the Sanchez goal allowed Chile to take advantage of the other slips, leaving his side in a great spot. Colombia 12. Paraguay Arsenal goalkeeper David Ospina made a pair of critical errors late, and Colombia slipped a late defeat at home against Paraguay to send the CONMEBOL standings into further disarray. Reyes Gonzalez sent in a cross from the right, and when Ospina came off his line to collect, he spilled the ball and was left sprawled on the ground as Antonio Sanabria pounced to score the winner 2 minutes into stoppage time. Colombia had already squandered a lead just moments before. Radamel Falcao's chip had given them the lead in the 79th minute, but Oscar Cardozo equalized in the 89th minute thanks to the first of Ospina's 2 errors. A deep set-piece from the midway line was sent into the box, and Ospina came out to punch but hardly got a touch and spilled to the ground. That allowed Cardozo to pounce, poking in while he laid on the ground. The loss means Colombia remains in the muck, despite being still in a qualifying position. For Paraguay, the win is massive, pulling them within one of the playoff spot. Venezuela 0-0 Uruguay. A point for Uruguay on the road is a positive, but with a logjam suddenly inches behind them, 0-0 feels like a disappointing result as they fail to break through at Venezuela. Both teams struggled to get shots on target as Venezuela remains bottom of the table. Bolivia 0-0 Brazil. Brazil has already qualified for the 2018 World Cup, and they trotted out a mediocre lineup that couldn't get past Bolivia goalkeeper Carlos Lamp, who made a whopping 13 saves in the scoreless draw. Neymar started for Brazil and completed the full 90 minutes, but Philippe Coutinho was withdrawn after an hour and Alisson was deployed in goal. Bolivia has already been eliminated from contention. Current standings: Brazil Q 38-27, Uruguay 28-10, Chile 26-2, Colombia 26-2, Peru 25-1, Argentina 25-1, Paraguay 24-5, Ecuador E20-1, Bolivia E14-20, Venezuela E9-17. Picture. So here's the deal: Argentina still controls its own destiny. Mostly. They need to win on the road at eliminated Ecuador, and they need to do so by more than Peru potentially wins at home against an equally desperate Colombia. That should see them at least into the playoff position, and could see them jump higher should Chile or Colombia falter. Chile hits the road to take on Brazil, and while the hosts have already qualified, they likely won't take the match lightly against a rival in a fixture that has found new heat in recent years. Paraguay hosts Venezuela and could be primed to take advantage of a couple slips above them. Uruguay should be fine as they host Bolivia, as only true chaos could see them out. Follow at _bonfire Dortmund, Germany app. Injury-plagued Borussia Dortmund midfielder Marco Reus says he would give away everything to be fit again. Reus, who hasn't played since sustaining a tear to the posterior cruciate ligament in the German Cup final last May, tells GQ magazine, "Money is not the only thing for me, but health means much more." Reus says he cried at half-time after sustaining the injury, because it was so bitter, and again, 2 or 3 days later, when I let everything pass. The 28-year-old Reus is not expected to return to action until March. Reus missed Germany's World Cup triumph in 2014 with an ankle injury sustained in a warm-up game, while a groin injury ruled him out of the 2016 European Championship. Follow at _bonfire.